branching concept, everything. Anybody tried? No?
Yeah, I'm using these commands in my project.
Okay. So like up to previous command, everything was clear, right? Anybody have any question in that?
Yeah.
Okay. So today we are going to start with the stashing. Okay, in the last class, if you remember, we talked about the merge conflict. Okay, and then we talked about the normal merging. We talked about the different concept of the branching. Okay, today we'll be going to see 2 to 3 different things. First will be the stashing. Okay, I will explain you what is the use case of a stashing. Once the stashing will be completed, then we'll be seeing 2 more things. That will be the git reset and git revert. Okay, and then we'll be seeing git clone related commands, everything. So this will be our flow. Now, yeah, somebody saying something. Someone's mic seems open. Okay. So let me just connect. So this was our directory Mumbai Gate. Okay, and these were all the files we created till now. If we'll check git status, everything, I think everything was clean, nothing to do anything. Okay. Now, what is the stashing here? So to understand the stashing, first you have to understand what a stashing will be doing, right? So a stashing will only works on the committed file. That is the first thing you have to understand. Okay. Like if some file is already committed, okay, then only you can work on the stashing command on it. It is not like you are creating some file in the working space, and since Git is not tracking that particular file, so stashing is not going to work. Stashing will work on only the file to whom Git is already tracking. That means the file already committed. Okay, so this thing just keep in mind. It is not like I'm creating a new file just now and I will be able to do a stash. No, a stash can only helpful in the case when your Git is already tracking that particular file. Okay, so there are so many files here present. Okay, previously we can create a new files also. Okay, so take an example. If we see any file like Mumbai file one, let's go in that only. Okay, so this is the content of the Mumbai file one currently, right? Total how many lines? Around 7 lines is there. Okay. Now the question is, this is the file. This is already committed. You can come here. You can verify it here also that Mumbai file one is already committed here, and it is also having exactly 7 lines. Okay, whatever I am seeing it from here. Okay. Now the question is like manager asked you, okay, to do some changes or to some add extra changes, extra feature inside this particular file. Okay, like I want to do some extra changes inside this particular file. So since I am going to do any extra changes in this particular file, what I will do, I will start to write the commands, everything, whatever the code I want to write after the 7th line, like that way. Okay. So take an example. We started to write from the 9th line like this, new line 1. Just focus on this, like how where I am ending the counting. Okay, so I am going to write up to new line 2, new line 3, and new line 4. So total 4 line of the code I added. Okay, but I was in the place of writing the code only. Currently I did not completed the code. Maybe my goal is to write at least 10 line of the code. Okay, but just I completed up to 4 line of the code. Okay, and in between only some messages came from my manager side that there is some other requirement in file 2 or file 3. Okay, that is on the priority basis. That means first I have to do rectify that problem that is occurring in the file 2 or file 3. Okay, or maybe it can happen that there are some changes we have to do in this 2 line itself. There is some error in that. That can be one of the case that I will show in the later. But till now just focus that there is some bugs comes in some different files. Okay, and that we have to rectify it first as compared to this file because this is extra feature, right? So it can wait. First we have to solve the bugs which is currently occurring in our company or in our application, like that way you can say. So since we written the 4 line of the code, the usual behavior will what? I have to change something in the file too, right? So I am going to save this file, whatever the changes till now I done, because I cannot delete these changes also, right? Because I already written 4 line of code. Currently you are seeing 4 line of code, but it can be 100th line of the code that we already written. Okay. So since I written this file, so you know that when I'm going to say to the git status, they will clearly say that somebody modified the Mumbai file one. Okay. And now my goal is to change something in the file too. Okay. When you are changing, doing in the changing in the file too, or you are doing the changes in this particular file itself. Okay. But currently I don't want to commit this file, Mumbai file one. Okay. Because Mumbai file one will have the data extra 4 line or something that is not completed. It is in the middle stage only. Maybe I write 6 more lines, then it will be entire code will be completed. So what we can do is we can ask to the Git, right? I can ask to the Git that I know that I done some changes, okay, in that Mumbai file one. Like it is clearly saying that there is some changes happen in the Mumbai file one, but I don't want to commit it now because this code is not completed. Okay. So whatever the changes I want done till now, okay, like the last 4 line of the code, whatever I added in the Mumbai file one, that I want to move it in some temporary storage. Okay. So everything will be clean in this Git repository. So to do this, simply you have to hit the command called git stash. Git stash. As soon as I'm writing this git stash command, what will happen is whatever the changes I done in this Mumbai file one, the extra 4 line, new line one, new line two, new line three, new line four, that is stored somewhere in some temporary storage. So now if you do the git status, it will say nothing to commit, everything is clean. What is the meaning of this? That means whatever the changes you done here in the Mumbai file one, okay, that is gone. There is no new file one, there is no new file two like that way. Okay, there is nothing written, only 7 line of the code is present here. That means whatever the changes I done in the Mumbai file one, that is gone. Now I want to edit something in the file too. I can simply come, I can open this file. Like I had to edit something like here, I had to add extra line, take an example. I will do the changes. Once the changes is done, I will simply come, I will do the git add, git commit. Somebody want to say something? I think someone's mic is open. Okay. So git add, git commit, and simply whatever the message you want to give. Usually we give, right? Fixed bug, something like that. I'm writing fixed bug in file. So this is also done, and I'm doing the git push. Okay. And why we moved that file? I can add the file by directly particular file name also. It can be your thinking, right? That I will not commit the Mumbai file when I will keep it. But sometimes what happens now, your files are dependent on each other. Maybe this file two is using the code of the Mumbai file one is using the code of some file two or something, right? So we have to always try to commit the code when that code is already tested, everything is working fine, then only. Okay, it is not like you are writing some code in between and you are committing. It is not the good way. Okay, that's why we done that. And simply we'll do the git push. You know, we have to just write the username and then we have to give the password. So in place of password, we are always using the token from the first class. And that's it. It is pushed and now problem is solved here. So now manager will come to the file too and he will see that, okay, now bug is fixed. Okay. But now the concern is again that I already had a task, right, to add the extra feature in the Mumbai file one, and in which I already written the 4 line of the code also. Okay. So now this work is completed. So again, I have to return back to my previous work. So is up to here, everything is clear to all of you or any confusion?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. So now what I want to do is my goal is whatever the line I written in this Mumbai file one, that I want to get it back. Okay. So we had a command, we done it, right? Git stash. Okay. And what it done is whatever the changes were done that time, that all the changes they moved it to the some temporary storage. So I will simply say git stash. Do you have any temporary storage? I want to list it. So they will say, yes, one thing is there at the stash at the rate 0. Simply you have to copy this. And here you have to say git stash apply and paste this. Okay, so this is a storage. Basically, you can think like this is just a index. It is denoting that whatever the changes I done previously, that is saved here. Okay, so git stash apply stash at the rate 0. As soon as I'm going to press enter, so they are again returning back our Mumbai file one. What this Mumbai file one is now having, just read it. All the 4 line is coming back, right? And it doesn't like that whatever the changes we done in the file two that is gone. No, file two changes is still there. Okay, and this changes also okay. Now I will again open the Mumbai file one. I will start to do my work. Okay, like new line 4. I am keep adding the line like this. Okay, so like 8 line I did here. Now again take an example, exactly same problem again came, and this time my manager want me to rectify the Mumbai file one itself. Like in the starting 1 or 2 line there is some error something. Forget about this extra feature. There is some changes in this I require, right? But still I written the 8 line of the code. Still this code is not completed, so I cannot commit it. So what I am doing is again I'm saving this file, and I know that if I'm going to say git status, so they will say that there is some changes are still there in the Mumbai file one. So I will again say git status. That's all. Again, I will stash it. Again, I will do a status. Everything is clean. Okay. Now, if I'll open the Mumbai file one, everything will look perfectly right. So again, I am going inside the Mumbai file one. This time I want to do changes inside this file itself. Like in place of welcome, okay, somebody want me to write just the by, something like this. Okay. So just one line I changed from welcome to by, and this was the requirement. And simply I saved this file, and I am going to commit this file also. So git add, git commit, -m, modified, and simply do the git push, username, password, enter. So this is also done. Okay, well and good. Now, if I'll refresh this page, you'll see that this welcome is replaced with the by. Okay, and it is pushed here. So now again, manager is okay. Yes, now you solved the problem. Now you can again work on that your previous work. Okay. So now again, I have to take my code back, right? But I done some changes. In place of welcome, now I written the by. So is that going to come back, or how is it going to work? Okay, so this is the Mumbai file one current thing. As soon as I'm saying git stash list, so now they will say that there is two storages there. Okay, because we done that 2 time stash, right? So now tell me if I'm going to say that git stash apply stash at the rate 0. So will it return back the 4 line of the code or 8 line of the code inside this Mumbai file one? What do you think? See, one of the storages is storing the 4 line of the code, other storage is having the 8 line of the code, whatever the changes we done, right? So if I'm going to apply stash at the rate 0, will it give it back the 4 line of code or 8 line of code? Anybody?
8 line of the code.
8 line of code. Because latest one will be at the 0th index. Okay, previous one will be the first index, and it is also clearly saying that this stash you done at when you write this message fixed bug in file 2, right? And fixed bug in file 2 last time we done that time already 4 line of code we were written, and after that we written the 8 line of code, and then we done the stash. So that's why it is coming at this index. So as soon as I'm saying that git stash apply, and just copy this, write it here. That's all. If I'm going to open this cat Mumbai file one, we'll get our outlet. And you are seeing here, welcome is not coming. It is coming as by only. All of you. So it is just going to revert back the extra changes you done. Okay, it is not going to replace that after that, whatever the changes you done. Stash is just like I was working on some part of the code. That code I don't require for now. So I am keeping it in some temporary storage. Whenever I will require, I will take that back code. Okay. And sometimes what can happen is you are doing the changes in this particular line only, and that particular line only got changed. In that case, merge conflict will come, right? So both the file will be merged. You have to manually take the decision which line you want to keep it. So that can be also the case. Is it fine?
Yes.
Merge conflict, we done it in the last class, right? So if there is some changes happen, like these lines were written at this position only, okay, and that position only somebody changed it. So in that case, merge conflict can come when you are stashing it again. Okay, so that time you have to manually revert it. So this is the one thing. So again, the normal thing will be the people will be go inside this file like Mumbai file one, and he will start to continue the code. So we already written 8 line of the code. So I will quickly write 2 more lines, like new line 9 and new line 10. And once my work is done, now my current code is completed entirely, right? So now I will save this. I'll do git add. I will do the git commit, added feature in Mumbai file one, something like this, and git push, username, password, Okay, and if I'll refresh this page, here we are going to see all the code back. Okay, everything came here. So this is the flow how we are going to work in the Git test. So just try, and here the example of the see two example of this test I shown you here, right? By changing the different file, by changing the same file. Now it's your duty by forwarding this. If you'll try to see these examples, in this example, merge conflict will come. So merge conflict one, I shown it here. So once you are practicing the exactly same, so you'll be able to do it. Okay, so basically three types of this testing you will be see by completing these three examples. Okay, here see this type of the things will come updated stream stats changes, like this was original code. Okay, and somebody who taken the code from the stats memory, so they as having this is the line. Okay, so now you have to take decision if this is the correct line or this is the correct line. Okay, so manually we have to do it and then we have to rectify. So just this thing is keep in mind. Any confusion or anything you want to ask in this testing, ask it now, or else I will move to the git reset commands.
Yeah.
All good, everybody?
Yes.
Okay, great. So now see, there is two things, right? Whatever the things we are doing till now. So basically, if we'll sum up all the things now, we are doing only three things. First, creating the file in the working space,
I
moving
have
it
one
to
doubt.
staging it. Yeah.
Sorry, sir. Yeah.
Hmm.
We did the git stats, right?
Yeah.
For suppose we need to revert that stats commits. How can we revert?
Revert the stash commitments.
I mean, we did the 4 lines, right? We
Okay.
no need to add that 4 lines. How can we revert that from stash?
No. Okay. See, wait. So you are saying here that see, this is the Mumbai file one. Okay. Here we
Yes.
added the 10 line. We already committed it, right?
Yes. If
Now,
for suppose, yeah.
so what you want to go? You want to go back only to the 4 line, this extra 10 lines I want to delete or something like that? What you want?
Yeah. If for suppose we add the 4 lines now. Okay. After that we did the git stats, right?
Okay.
How can we revert that 4 lines before we add the stash, right?
No. Reverting, I'm not understanding your question. See what stash is doing. Let me first tell you. Okay. Whatever the usual commit you are doing, you can do it as it is. Okay.
Yeah.
This line 4, I just added it in the working space. Getting it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to move these changes to the staging area and commit area because this code is not completed. Okay. So that's why we are keeping this file or this line basically, okay, for some particular time in a stash memory or a temporary storage. Okay.
Yes.
And once my work is completed, okay, so now I have to take decision that whether I want to take that line back from the staging memory or I don't require it. Okay. If you want that line, so see, when I am writing here the command git stash list. Okay. So we are seeing
Yeah.
currently two things, stash at the rate 0, stash at the rate 1. Stash at the rate 1 is consisting the stash memory up to 4 line on. Okay. Because that time we had only written the 4 line of the code and we stashed it. Okay. Second time when I done the git test, that time we had already the 8 line changes here, right?
Yes.
So if somebody is going to apply, then this is going to come 8 line of the code. Okay.
Yeah.
So now it's totally on you which one you want to keep it. Like if somebody want to apply to the stash at the rate 1, that I want to go back again, what was the changes at that particular time, right? So you have to just copy this like this way. Okay. And you have to do git stash and then you have to apply and press enter. So once we're done, so see there is something coming both modified Mumbai file 1. If I'm going open this Mumbai file 1, now what we are seeing, you're seeing some changes is there.
Yeah.
Okay. So what they are saying is in your after stash memory, you've done this many extra changes. Okay. But this stash, whatever you want to revert it back, that was having only this 4 line. Getting this? That was from the updated stream. Now, as a manually thing, I have to take decision that whether this code is only correct or both the codes are correct or this code I don't require. Getting it? So we have to take a decision. So this is the thing only, how you have to do. It is just like keeping something in the temporary store and taking it back. That's it.
Oh, Yeah.
So I'm just queuing this. And once everything is done now, okay. So you can again, like, I don't want to do these changes again. Okay. So I will just do git status. Everything will be gone. If I do git status, so everything will be clean. There is why so okay. Actually, it is already merged. So we have to manually take the decision here. So what I can do is let me just do. So I have to take a manual decision. So I'm just removing this case. Let me save this. Okay, and like once your work is done, right? So
Yeah.
already I taken back the 8 line of the code, and whatever my goal was to keep the entire 10 line of the code in the Mumbai file one, right? So
Yeah.
now why will require this stash memory git and see currently I'm trying to do the git stash. So they will say no local changes to save because you did not done any changes here, right? If I'll show you git status, nothing is there to save it. Once the file will be coming in the red color, then only you can do the git stash. Is this making sense? Because
Yeah.
if some modification is done, then only git status will work. Now, if I'll say git status, can you show me the list? So they are saying still the list. What happened? Not git status actually. So they are saying these two are there, but now my work is done, right? Why I want to that take code back only because it is already committed. My thing is solved, right? So you can simply say git status clear it. So you have to clear the temporary storage. So from the next time when you want to do the practical, okay. So again, the stash counting will be start from 0, 1 index like that. Okay. So this is the
Yeah.
okay. Then let's come to the reset and revert part now. Okay. Now you can mute yourself. So git reset. So see, sometimes whenever you are doing moving the file from working space to staging area to commit area, so we can do some changes, right? And maybe that changes is not working, or maybe there is some by mistake we done the changes, right? So in that case, we should have some tools or some commands which can help us, right? Take an example, I committed the file or I added the file to the staging area, but there is some problem with that. So how I can revert it back, how I can recall the changes. Okay, these all things will be taken care by two commands. One is the git reset can help you, and one is the git revert can help you. Okay, so what is the git reset? Git reset say that sometimes what can happen is you created a file like this test file, and inside this file I written some content. This is test file using git reset, something like this. And I simply done the same. Okay, so we created a file test file. What is the next step we have to usually do? We'll check the git status. So we are seeing that a file is there. Okay, this is the untracked file. What is the next command we usually do? Anybody?
Git. Yeah.
Git add, right? As soon as I'm going to do the git add, what will happen? This file is moved to the staging area. Okay, now I cannot do any further changes in this test file. Okay, because now this will be only committed only. But now I got to know that there is some changes there in this test file. I written only 2 lines of the code and this is not correct. Or maybe I have to edit some spelling. Maybe some spelling is not correct. Okay. So in that case, first what I have to do is I have to move this file back from staging area to the working space again. Is this making sense? That currently this file is in the green color. Okay, that is means it is in the staging area. Again, I want to move it back to the working space so I can do some changes. Is this making sense?
Yeah.
All of them. So to do this, there is a simple command called git. I want to reset. Okay, and see, git reset is only going to work your file is present in the staging area. If your file is committed, then git reset is not going to help you. Okay, git reset can only help if your file is moved to the staging area and you want to move it back to the working space. So simply to git, I want to reset this. as soon as you are doing the git status, again this file came in the untracked only. Now again you can edit this file and you can add some extra changes, whatever the changes you want to do. Okay, and again I will save this file, and again I can do the git add. Okay, again maybe some problem can come. Okay, that again I want to move it back to the working space, then again I can do the git reset only. And else if everything is fine, so simply we can do git add, already done. So basically we have to do the git commit -m and test file added. Okay, so now I committed the code also. Now there can be one problem here. I committed the code, I pushed the code also. Let me just do it. And see, there can be two types of those scenario. First thing, whatever the mistake you done, okay, that you got to know at the early stage itself. Okay, previously, like I done some mistake, I moved the file to the staging area. Okay, that time only I got to know that there is some changes we require to do in the test file. And that's why in the test file, I added one more line, that is the okay. Okay, again moving it back. But this time what I done is I committed this test file, right? I committed it, I already pushed it here also. So if I'll refresh this, so this is the test file, okay, in which we already written 3 lines of code, right? But now there can be one thing that after committing this code, you got to know that there is some mistakes I done. Maybe this line is not required, or maybe this line is incorrect. Okay, maybe this entire code is not working, right? So in that case, what to do now? Because this code is already pushed, right? Reset is not going to help us. Reset can only help when you done the changes and move it just to the staging area. But once you commit it, then nothing is going to help you. Okay. So in that case, there is only one thing you can do. And what is that thing is, if you'll go in the history, okay, in the test file. So this is the commit item, right? This is the commit 78729. If I'll click on this, so this is the commit ID got generated when I added this last commit or last push to be done. So you can come here, simply clear this all. Let me show you what you can do is, my goal is to revert the changes, because whatever the changes I done, the last changes what I done, uh, basically all the 3 lines of the changes we done. So let me do one thing. This is the test file. I'm adding some wrong code in the test file. Okay. And then again, I will show you. So take an example. This was the 3 lines of the code already written in the test file that is already committed. But by mistake, what I done is I added some wrong code here. Okay. Just for understanding purpose, I'm writing the wrong code as wrong code only. Okay. But you know that in the real world scenario, it will not written like this. You have to find it that whether that code is correct or not. So wrong code. So like this way, 3 lines of the code I written, that is totally wrong. But up to starting 3 lines, that was totally fine. That's why we committed and everything was working perfectly fine. But this time I by mistakenly I added the 3 lines of the code. Okay, I did not done the proper testing or something. And we added this file. We committed this file. Okay, and then we done the push also. Okay, now if we'll come here and now as a manager, what he will be seeing, he will be seeing that why it's so only test file. So he will be seeing that somebody added the wrong code here. So definitely you will going to get the notification here, right? That somebody added the wrong code. You have to revert it. This changes, okay, because this will affect our application. So in that case, you are seeing in the history, there is 2 commit happening. Now tell me which commit is correct. This commit is correct or this commit is correct? This commit is having the 3 lines of the code. This commit is having the 6 lines of the code. Okay, so the last 3 lines, whatever we added during this commit ID, right? So these are the 3 lines we added. Okay, and definitely this is wrong. So that means whatever the commit ID we are talking about, okay, that is the incorrect. Is this making sense?
Yes.
So now if we'll come here again, let's clear this all. If I'll say get, can you show me the log? -1 line. I'm showing it in the smaller format. You can see the detailed one also. But see, last two commit is this one. This is the last commit, and last to last commit is this one. Okay. Now, if you remember in this commit, what I done, I added the 3 line of the code up to OK, right? And in this commit ID, what I done, I added 3 wrong code 1, wrong code 2, wrong code 3. Okay. Now, I know that during this commit ID only I done the wrong. Like you can say it here also, Git. I want to show like what are the changes I done during this commit ID. If I'll copy this, they will clearly say that somebody added this 3 line of the wrong. Okay. So I want to revert these changes back. Okay. So manually, I should not delete the code like by going there, something like that, because it can happen that you edited some part of the code here also, you edited some part of the code here also. And whatever the changes I done, currently I just added the 3 line of the code, right? But it can be the situation that I deleted this line also, I deleted this line also, I updated some spelling also. So there are so many bugs can happen. So in that case, there is only one command can help us, and that command is git. I want to revert. Revert means whatever the changes I done during this commit ID, I know that is totally wrong. I want to revert these changes. So git revert, copy this commit ID, the last commit that is the wrong commit basically. Do it here and press it enter. Now they are saying that you are reverting this commit ID. Are you sure about this? And if you want to add some extra message or something, you can write it. Okay. And I'm writing some message like please ignore last commit. Something like this I'm doing. Why I'm showing it like please ignore last commit, you will get to know quickly. But this is just the message we done, and simply we are saving this file. Okay. Now if I'll do the git status, so everything is clean. They are just saying that whatever the changes you done, that you have to publish it to the GitHub repository. So for that, I'm doing the git push also, and I'm writing the username and simply the password. That's all. Now if you'll come here, central repo one, and if I'll going to the test file, so what you are seeing here is that wrong code is gone. We are not able to see the wrong code, right? Wrong code 1, wrong code 2, wrong code 3, if you remember.
Yeah.
And now if you'll go in the history, so there are 3 commits is there. Okay. The first commit, if you remember, this was the first commit in which we added the correct code, 3 line of the code. In the second commit, 19CA, in this we added the 3 wrong code. Okay, 3 line of the wrong code was there. Now the third commit, whatever the third commit happened just now after reverting the code. Okay. So they generated a new commit ID, and what they done in this, they removed all the changes done by the previous commit. Is this making sense? That they removed the changes done by the previous commit. Okay. And since they done it, that's why when I was committing this code, I added some type of a message like this, that there is a commit message called test file updated. You have to please ignore this last commit. That means now from now on, any developer want to see this code, they will quickly get to know, okay, we have to forget about this commit ID because this is the wrong commit ID. Okay. But you cannot manually delete this. Okay. It is not like you can delete this commit ID. If something you committed, either it is correct, either it is wrong, it will be going to be there only. You cannot remove it. It is something like this, firing a bullet from the gun. Once the bullet is fired, you cannot take it back. Okay, so just that thing you have to remember. If the commit is done, I cannot remove this commit. Only one thing I can do is that if that bullet is going to hit some target, right? Maybe some person got hit by our fired bullet, right? So in the worst case scenario, what can happen? He can die, right? But what I can do is I can take that person to the hospital. So at least I can save his life. Okay, so this is the thing you have to just understand, that if you done the commit, okay, either it is correct commit or wrong commit, you cannot remove it back. But the best thing what you can do is you can make sure that your application should again be come back or it should again run. So in that case, you have to remove the committed code and whatever the crime you done, so that you have to remove it. That we are doing it in this committed. But people will be still coming to this and they will be still able to see that somebody added the wrong code. Is this fine? Get revert logic clear to all of you?
Yes.
So just
Yes.
remember, get revert is just helping us, okay, to remove the wrong code. And example is here. So just try to practice this. And the last command is the git clone. I think most of you will know that, okay. But see, sometimes what happens now, see, currently these all files, whatever I created, right? Everything I created it from scratch. Okay, that means we first created a directory with the name Mumbai file one. Inside that we initialize the Git repository locally, Git init. Then we created some file. Then we done the Git add, Git commit. Then we pushed it to this repo. But when you are working in a company or something, so definitely that company will be working on some project previously, okay, in which already 100 200 files of the code is there. Okay, so in that case you don't have to do like this git init, git add, git commit like that way. What you can do is you can come to that particular repository when you got the access. You have to just copy this link, okay, and you have to come out this directory, because we are not talking about the Mumbai Git directory now. Here you have to simply run a command git I want to clone a repository, and this is the URL. So what will happen is entire thing, the repository with the exactly same name, what is the repository available in the GitHub, so that will be copied here. If I'll go inside this, so we don't have to initialize this because this is directly copied right from the GitHub repository. So already all the files .git ignore, everything will be there. And even if I'll check about the git log hyphen one line, so they will show us all the changes, everything done, everything we got it that from the history, everything. Okay. So this thing is the one important thing, that if some repository is already created, so git clone can help you to cloning the repository. Okay, this is the one thing. And anybody know here about the use of this fork? Anybody? Do you know
No.
about the use case of fork? No? Okay. So fork is something like, take an example in the, when you search, right? So take an example, I'm searching about some GitHub repo, okay, for Go programming language or to do some basic code, like Go calculator. I want to write a calculator program in the Go language, okay, and I want to find some GitHub repo. So take an example for JavaScript calculator. Here we go. Okay, if I'll come here, so we are finding that there are some codes got created by some different developers. Okay, who designed the code for calculator. So I'm coming to this repository, but this repository is not created by me, right? It is created by some other person who designed this type of the calculator with the help of this type of the code. They written entire code, okay, using the CSS, HTML, JavaScript, and they are doing it. So in that case, what you have to do is, I want to take this code, right? I cannot come here and I can edit it. Maybe I want to change the background color or something like that, right? So I cannot edit it because I'm not the owner of this repository. Somebody other is the owner. Just give me a second. So whatever the changes are done here, okay, uh, that changes I cannot do it from here. If I do the right click here, so they are saying first you have to fork this repository, then only you can do these changes. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Because forking is basically helping you to create a clone, okay, to create a clone or basically a replica of this repository, and it will attach it to your account. So currently this is the username, okay, who created this, and this is the repository name, calculator, right? So if I'm simply coming here and I will click on fork, so they are saying username is DevOps and now this is the repository name will be there, okay, and click on create fork. Now what will happen is, this is my repository now, DevOps calculator one. Okay, and now I can do all the changes in this repository. I got all the codes, everything exactly cloned from this. Okay, now I can come here, whatever the changes I want to do, I can go inside any of the file like this, and I can do the changes. Just give me a second. Actually, this is not will work. Let me go to the script section. Okay. And this is a script.js file. Okay, so inside this, if I want to do any changes, I can come here and I can edit the logic here. Okay, because we have all the codes, everything. So you have to fork this repository. So if some repository belongs to some other person and that you want to clone directly to your repository, so you can edit it, everything, then you can fork the repository. Getting it? And you cannot fork your own repository. That's why if I am clicking on any repository that is owned by me, so I cannot fork it. Okay, I can fork only the repository created by some other person. So just keep that in mind. Is it fine, all of you?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So this was about the Git. Okay. We covered most of the aspect of the Git. Try to practice it up to here. It will be more than enough. Once you will practice all these things, other than this, anything is coming in your mind or something, you can easily able to get it by searching here and there in the Google. So no issue for that. But just try to practice all these labs, everything one by one. Okay. So you'll be easily able to understand. And from the next class, we'll take some doubt if you are facing any doubt in this practical or something. Okay. And then we'll start with the AWS cloud. Okay. Where we'll start details of the AWS. Any question you want to ask up to here? Anybody?
Then will be the start the Jenkins.
Come again?
Jenkins.
Jenkins will be starting once will we cover so many topics like AWS will be completed, then Ansible, then Docker, Kubernetes, then only Jenkins will come.
Okay.
Because Jenkins is the integration of technologies, right? It is helping you to integrate so many things. So you have to learn so many things, then only you can integrate it, right?
Yes.
So that is the thing.
Okay.
Other than this, anybody?
Yeah. Maybe.
Because in Jenkins, you'll see now we'll be using it. Git will be integrating with some other tools like Maven and other different tools, doing all the practical on the AWS cloud. So we have to be mastered in the AWS. Okay, then only we can perform all this.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's skip up to here. Okay, try to practice it. Thanks all of you. Have a nice day.